common understanding how Krishna is everything. Krishna Sarva Karana Karanam, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha, Anadi Radhi Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. So now he is explaining himself how he is Sarva Karana Karana. Bhumirapa analo vayu khangamano buddhirivata ahamkara ityamne bhinna prakriti asatha. We materialistic persons, materialist science, they can study all these material elements. Bhumi, apa, anala, vayu, kham. And then little higher than that, materialist scientists. There are psychologists or philosophers. They study man, buddhi, ahankar. Thinking, feeling, willing. Different stages of the mind. But Krishna says that iti aname bhinna prakriti asatha. These 8 kinds of material elements, they are separated energy from me. Separated energy, you can understand very easily. Just like I am speaking, and it is being recorded in the tape recorder. When the tape recorder is replayed again, you will find that I am speaking again. But that speaking and my present speaking is different. Therefore, that speaking is separated energy. Now I am speaking directly. That is not separated. But when it is transferred to another matter, that is separated. So this material world is separated energy from Krishna, but it is energy, his energy. His energy acting under his direction. But this material energy is not independent. The material scientists are thinking that there is no God. Matter is working by actions and reactions. But that is not the fact. Matter is dependent on the direction of the Supreme Law. That will be stated in the 10th chapter. Maya dhakshena prakriti shuatesa charataram. This prakriti, this material energy, is acting under my superintendence. How material energy can act independently? That is not very good understanding. Suppose this electric fan is running on, but it is not running on independent. There is electric energy, there is powerhouse, there is a superintending engineer in the powerhouse. At the end there is living force. Matter cannot work independently. We have no such experience. Anything that matter, material, it has no power to work independently. Behind that there is spiritual existence. Now, Krishna says, Bhumi apa anala vayu. When we cannot accommodate that how from a person all these material manifestations, the gigantic sky, the innumerable planets with different varieties of energies, how it is possible that it is produced from a person? Therefore those who are in forefront of knowledge, they think just the opposite way. Because personally how it is possible. Therefore they think of the Supreme Absolute Truth as impersonal. But that is not fact. First, we can again study, just like your body, my body, although it is gigantic, just like elephant body, or there are many other animals. Just in the ocean, there are many big fishes. One fish is called pimi, the whale fish. It is sometimes as big as one big house. And it is understood from the Shastras that there is another fish which is called pimingal. Pimingal means a big fish which can swallow up a whale as big as a house. So there are so many big animals and big living entities all over the universe, but all of them are production of a very little spiritual spark. My body, your body, let us study. What is this body? This body is produced or generated from the small spiritual spark. That is also mentioned in the Shastra. What is the dimension of that small spiritual spark? Kesadra sadvadasya sadadha kalpitasya jiva bhava savijña sanantaya kalpate. Kesadra sadvadasya, the upper portion, the tip of the hair, just like a point. You divide into 100 parts and take another one part and divide another 100 parts. That means 10,000 parts of the tip of the hair is the dimension of the spirit soul. That spirit soul, on the basis of that spirit soul, this body develops. Any medical scientist knows. And we know from the Vedic literature that these small particles, atomic particles of spiritual spark, take shelter in the semina of the father, and the father injects the semina in the womb of the mother. Then if the situation is favorable, then it takes a form of body, just like a pea in the first night. That pea-like body develops. Then different holes are manifested. They are developed into eyes, ears, mouth, and so many holes, 9 holes in the body. So, anyone can understand that that small particle or atomic portion of the spiritual spark develops this body, big body. Not only human body, all sorts of bodies. Similarly, this whole universe is also a development of the spiritual body of Krishna, Paramatma. So it is not very difficult to understand. The Buddhist theory is that living symptoms are produced by combination of matter. But from Bhagavad Gita and other Vedic literature, we understand the matter is produced from spirit soul. Matter, not from the matter, the living symptoms are produced. According to Lord Buddha's philosophy, that this body is combination of matter. So, when we dismantle the matter, nirvana, then there is no more feelings of pains and pleasures. That is called sunnavadi. But we are neither Sunnavadi nor Nirvisheshvadi. We are Savisheshvadi. Savisheshvadi means that the spirit soul has got his form and this body has got form. Just like dress takes its form because the man has got a form. This body is considered as dress. Vasansi jillani tathavyaya. We are changing our dresses as much as we change our old dress to new one. Old order changes, yielding place to new. So, this body, because we, in our spiritual body, we have got arms, hands and legs. Therefore, we develop a material body which has got hands, legs, etc. That we can understand very easily. Just like your coat and shirt cannot have hands and legs without you having your hands and legs. Similarly, this material body which is considered as dress means it has developed on the personal body of the spiritual form. This is called Savisheshva. So the material existence, external feature of the Lord is these eight elements, namely Bhumi, Apa, Anara, Vayu, Kham, Buddhi, Mana, Eva. They are subtle forms. Ahankar, egotism, mind and intelligence. They are also material. They are not spiritual. One who thinks that mental speculation is spiritual speculation, that is wrong. Here from Bhagavad Gita we understand the mind is also subtle form of matter. And actually that is so. Because we get another body after death according to the mental situation at the time of death. The mind, intelligence, the subtle body. Just like at night, our subtle body, mind, intelligence work, and we think that we have got a separate body and have gone somewhere else from our house, from our room. We forget this material body. Similarly, after death, my mind and intelligence carry me to another separate body according to my thinking at the time of death. So, false ego. This false ego is that I am something of material product. This is called false ego. Actual ego, aham brahmasmi, I am Brahma. Bhumirapa anolo vayu, khanga mana buddhiri vata, ahankara ityang me bhinna prakriti rasa. So if we think about all these material objects, then actually at the end we come to the platform of spirit soul. And the spirit soul being part and parcel of the Supreme Soul, Krishna, then ultimately you come to Krishna. As such, Krishna is the origin of everything. Janmadasya jata. Both material and spiritual. There are different kinds of energy of Krishna. Parasya Shakti Dividhaiva Sriyate. This material energy is one of them. It is called external energy. Just like my body, your body is external energy. Similarly, this whole material manifestation, cosmic manifestation, is manifestation of the external energy of Krishna. Then Krishna says, Aparayam itasuvanyang prakritim vidyame param. Jiva bhutang mahabaho jayidam dharjate jagat. Now Krishna says that these material energies are inferior, apara. Just like in everything, within our experience, we have got inferior quality and superior quality. Of course, there's nothing absolute. Everything is spiritual in the higher sense. But when we analyze scrutinizingly, we can understand that this is this, this is that.
Yamuna Devi remembers. Our Bombay Cross Maidan program lasted for 11 days. Srila Prabhupada was exceptionally pleased with the turnout of the pandal. Every day we had upwards of 20,000 persons. Prasadam was being served constantly. There were question and answer booths, and there was intense interest in us as a Krishna consciousness movement. Shyam Sundar's approach of bringing American-style advertising techniques, such as balloons and billboards, was a huge success. So it was all very wonderful and pleased His Divine Grace very much. Srila Prabhupada spoke both mornings and evenings during the pandal. In the mornings, he usually lectured from the Srimad Bhagavatam, and in the evenings, from the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. During the Pandal programs, he changed the subject matter of his discourses from the 6th canto history of the life of Ajamil to the 7th canto history of Prahlad Maharaj. During this time, Srila Prabhupada was stressing that if one could attain love of God, it did not matter whether one was a sannyasi, brahmachari, vanaprastha or grihastha. He also spoke to many, many influential people, government officials, ministers, and prestigious men within the business community. It was a very grand success. Radhanath Swami remembers. It was on the first day of the Pandal program, and tens of thousands of people attended. I was way, way back in the crowds, just watching. And Prabhupada came on stage. Madhudwisha Prabhu was leading kirtan, and devotees were dancing, and Gurudas Prabhu was taking photos. I saw Gurudas called over by Prabhupada, and they were talking for some time. Then, Gurudas was looking through the crowds for quite a while, and he came all the way back to the back of the crowds and took me by the hand and said, Prabhupada wants you to sit with him on stage. I asked, how does Prabhupada know who I am? And he didn't say anything. He just pulled me up. When we came to the stage, Prabhupada smiled at me, and with his hand he gestured that I should sit not far from his Vyasasan, and I sat. I saw Srila Prabhupada when he was speaking. He just had such a sincere longing to reach people's hearts, such deep compassion, such deep concern. Yamuna Devi remembers. On March 29, 1971, at the Bombay Festival, Srila Prabhupada performed a marriage ceremony on stage, which pleased the audience immensely. It was the first time they had seen serious Western devotees marry in a traditional Vedic ceremony. During the ceremony, Srila Prabhupada said something very powerful about his young followers that profoundly struck me. My Guru Maharaj, Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj Prabhupada, was creating more brahmacharis and sannyasis for preaching work. But I am creating more grihastas, because in Europe and America, the boys and girls intermingle, so it is very difficult to keep one brahmachari. So there is no need of artificial brahmacharis. It is sanctioned. My Guru Maharaj wanted to establish Daivi Varnashram. It doesn't matter whether one is sannyasi or one is grihastha or a brahmachari. The main principle is Bhagavad Bhajan. But practically also, I may inform you that these married couples, they are helping me very much because, for practical example, I may say that one of my godbrothers, a sannyasi, was deputed to go to London for starting a temple. But 3 or 4 years he remained there, and he could not execute the will. Therefore, he was called back. Now, I sent 3 married couples. All of them are present here. And they worked so nicely that within 1 year, we started our London temple. And that is going on very nicely.
Om Agnatramandasya Jana Jana Salakija Chaksus Militam Jena Tasmei Shri Guruva Nema. On this auspicious Gaur Purnami day, I want to recount to you the beautiful story of this Pandal in Mumbai, Bombay at the time. Prabhupada gave us the Vedic culture. He introduced so many things: Harinam, Kirtan, Japa, initiation, marriage, empowering women and men, putting them on the altar. He was always thinking of how we can spread Krishna consciousness. It was such an adventure. We came up with the idea, let's do some Pandal programs in India. We've been to many Pandal programs. We went to Amritsar together. They threw me out because it was a Mayavadi festival. That's another story. So we started Pandal programs. And first, I was in Vrindavan, overseeing the Krishna Balaram temple construction. Tamal Krishna writes a telegram to please come immediately to Calcutta. They needed me to help with the first Pandal. It was in the middle of a war zone. The Naxalite communists were attacking each other during this Pandal program. So I went there, and overnight we were building the stage, the duris, the Pandal. The day of the Pandal we were still building, but that happened all the time. Sometimes we were just, when Prabhupada was coming, we were drying the stain on his table, hoping his elbows wouldn't stick to it at the last moment. Prabhupada said Krishna consciousness is not always peace of mind because we're trying to serve better. So this was going on, and the stage was built, and the day of the Pandal, Prabhupada put some seats for 1 rupee if life members or people didn't want to sit on the ground. The communists came and they were complaining, class consciousness. This was on the stage. We were ready to start. We heard the noise. Prabhupada said, Guru Das, what is that? I went over. They're complaining about the seats, class conscious, the Naxalites. Prabhupada said, let them sit in the seats. I said, I went there, you can sit in the seats. Now they had nothing to complain about. But also Prabhupada started singing the Brahma Samhita prayers, which really calmed them down. It was a wonderful Pandal. Then we did it in Delhi. Prabhupada and I decided we would have a different speaker. It was a 6 or 7 day Pandal. I invited the mayor of Delhi. I invited the poet laureate. I invited the scientist laureate, Dr. Atmaram. I invited the ambassador of Canada, James George. They all came. I went with Tamal to try and get the defense minister of India to come to our pandal. His name was Jagjivan. There was a guard at the gate with a gun and a bayonet trying to stop us, but Tamal and I had a plan. Tamal would go one way, we would fork like a river. He would go one way and I would go the other. So Tamal went to the left, the guard went after Tamal, I went right to the porch of the defense minister, and there we were at 7 a.m. with him in his pajamas. I said, please come to our festival. I told him a little bit about it. He said, we are a secular government. That's what they were doing at the time. Indira Gandhi herself said, I can't come because everybody would want me to come. I said, we're not a religion, we're a way of life. At any rate, another story. So Jagjivan said, no, I can't come. I saw a painting right there in his house, and it was his mother chanting japa. I said, if you don't come to our festival, I'm going to tell your mother on you. Oh, okay, I'll come. At the last minute, he declined, but for the moment, he accepted. So we were getting ready for the glorious festival that we're celebrating now in Mumbai, Bombay. I was put in charge of advertising and licensing, so many things. We were multitasking. Okay, I thought, what's a good advertisement? Let's do a ruby. Everybody pays attention to a ruby, but that's kind of crass. So I came up with the idea, let's do a telegram. Everybody wants a telegram. And I had a picture of Prabhupada with his danda and the information on the telegram. And we were making banners and festoons across the road, everything. Samashinda too, he's expert at advertising. So we advertised it, we did the licenses. We learned from mistakes from the past pandals, so it became even easier. And so it was glorious. And we had a wonderful stage. And even during this pandal gathering, Prabhupada did an initiation and a wedding. It was wonderful, showing how Krishna consciousness is worldwide. It was Vegavan and Parvati. I sent you those photos. It was wonderful. And we had a better kitchen this time. We learned from the past pandal. There was a little alley in the back, in the Delhi pandal, where there was a WC. And Prabhupada called me over to the Vyasasan, and he said, is there a WC? And I said, yes, there is. And during the program, he got off the Vyasasan and walked into this little alley. 300 people started to follow him. Swamiji, what have we done? Why are you leaving us? I had to, wait a minute. He's just going to the WC. He'll be back, folks. And so everything was really planned, and we had a nice kitchen this time. Now, I'm photographing, and there's a soul that just came from the Himalayas, full of tapasya, austerities, trying to search for the truth. He's sitting in the audience, and he saw me, and he thought, what kind of sadhu is having a camera? Later, he realized you can do anything for Krishna. But he was used to austerity, sitting on rocks in the middle of the river, trying to find the truth. Prabhupada again calls me over. Why me? Why me? There's so many glorious devotees. Why does he call me? I guess because I got things done, or we had such a nice relationship. He points. I see this sadhu-looking soul with long hair in the audience. Prabhupada said, get him. I had to go through people. I learned in India you don't step over anybody. So I had to do it, weave my way through everybody with my hand and please. And he looks up at me with these soul eyes, what? And I said, please come with me. And he said something like, why, or something. And I didn't say anything. I just led him up to the stage. And then Prabhupada welcomed him. And we were welcoming him. Prabhupada picked him out of the huge crowd. He was hungry. He hadn't eaten for some days. There was a big line. We were serving halava to everybody. He finally gets to the halava. It was wafting into his nose, fresh. He was he had it in his hand in a banana leaf cup, and I take it from him and pull him out again. And I said, don't eat this. It's made with daldi, motor oil. And I took him behind the stage and I fed him and fed him and fed him till his little belly was there. And that was Radhanath Swami. At that festival, another nice devotee, humble, real, my dear friend Lokanath Swami. 2 stars in our galaxy of stars came at that festival. If nothing else happened, that was the success of that festival. Thank you very much.
Shyam Sundar Prabhu writes in Chasing Rhinos with the Swami. Richard Slevin was in the audience during the festival. He had hitchhiked from Europe penniless across the Middle East to India looking for a guru. When I told Srila Prabhupada that Richard was sitting at the back of the crowd, he immediately sent Guru Das to fetch this dreadlocked seeker from Chicago to sit with us on stage. Richard recalls, as Srila Prabhupada was speaking, I heard a voice within my heart proclaim, "This is your Guru." And so a seed was planted for a life of unalloyed devotion to Srila Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya in spreading the holy names of Krishna to every town and village across the world. With his disciple and world-renowned motivational speaker Gaur Gopal Das, with God brothers Giriraj Maharaj, Bibi Govinda Maharaj and Niranjan Maharaj, with Mother Teresa, with Dalai Lama, with leading Bollywood stars, with David Cameron, with Barack Obama, with Sachin Tendulkar, with wrestler Khali, preaching at Google headquarters.
Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Vrindavan. Jaya Krishna.